Want to know the secret to selling and closing 10K, 20K, even 50K programs with ease? Well, it all starts with understanding and kind of anticipating and getting in front of certain objections that you know are going to come from your audience. If it's the first time joining one of my lives, I am Brian Czekanski, and I help business owners take their low ticket buyers and monetize them and turn them into high ticket buyers. And the way I do that, again, I was just talking to a prospect today who was little uneasy about how much we were talking about charging for his program, 12K in terms of that. And I said, that's not a big deal. He wanted to kind of lower the price, maybe cut it in half, because he was thinking that amount of money was going to turn off a lot of people. And I talked through with him my process of really understanding the certain types of objections that we're going to get, getting in front of them, and how that kind of takes away that money as part of that whole process, and how really focusing on the outcome really makes that whole money conversation, the amount of money and energy and everything else kind of float away, especially if we have the right outcome in front of the right audience. It's not a big deal. But I want to walk you through 5 different objections, kind of categories of objections that you should really think about, especially if you're selling a high ticket type of offer. So a high ticket offer, I'm talking anywhere from like 1K to, again, I sell 50 and 60K type of programs. So it's easily said and done. Again, a lot of it is just due to, okay, if you do get a no from a prospect, really understanding and digging into, why is that no happening? Why is there some kind of hesitation? What's that block that is getting them from that no to the yes? And a lot of times it's these 5 key objections, the categories that I'll talk about right now. And this should be part of your kind of marketing process. Anytime you're creating a new program, or even if you're selling an existing program right now, really should map out these 5 different categories and see where it fits for your own particular offer, and really anticipate, okay, like if I'm sitting in the seat of the audience as I go through these categories, and I'll go through some examples as I go through each category to make it a little bit easier for you. But if you can kind of map out and anticipate what you're going to get from your audience, and again, if you can include that in your pitch, in your sales call. In my case, I don't do any sales calls or webinars or any of those kind of things. I'm doing it all via my phoneless sales process. So I anticipate all that stuff. I get in front of, anytime I'm presenting an offer to a prospect and putting it in front of them, I anticipate as much as possible the objections that I'm going to get from them. And even when I do, it really is kind of a slight tangent or a little bit more personalized objection that they might have. And I already have it in the back of my mind how I might answer some of these things. So it doesn't really surprise me, especially as you go through some of these categories. So let me pull up just a couple different slides to make it easier to walk these through and to help me kind of remember what each of these is as well. So the first thing is, and the one that you'll get all the time in terms of a high ticket offer is, I just don't know how, like, I don't have the time. Like, I'm super busy. And that's what you'll hear from, it doesn't matter what audience you have, like everybody has a tight cram schedule. So that you like, as you communicate with your audience, that should be the standard, that my person, like whoever I'm talking to, doesn't have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, any of those kind of things. So you really have to present your offer. Again, you have to think about, like, in their busy schedule, how have you created this offer, your program, whatever it is, to kind of fit into what is the audience perspective. Like, I don't have 5 minutes to do this. But again, if you're talking about the outcome that they want the most, number one, they're going to find some time for that. But also, as you think about your program and offer design, think about the ways that you can answer this objection. Think about the tiny habits, or think of how you design your program to be super flexible or to fit into their schedule, or whatever it is, to anticipate that you're going to get from some person, I don't have the time to do this, and be able to respond to that right away. Again, anticipate that in your offer creation and say, like, I already know you are super busy. I know you don't have time for 10 different things to do. Here's why I created my offer. Here's why I created my program to fit your schedule perfectly. And here's how it fits in. And once you go through my program and get the outcome that you want the most, think about all the time that you're going to save. Think about all the time that's going to free up for you. So, like, that's almost like flip the objection for them. They don't have time right now. Talk about how your program, as they progress through that, is going to free up time for them, give them that freedom and flexibility that they really want the most, but they don't have right now. So again, first one is time. Second one is identity. Think about, like, where they are right now, meet them where they are right now, And that's really what we're trying to do for any type of high ticket type program, which tends to be a little bit more personalized, a little bit more done for you. We're trying to take them from where they are right now, kind of in pain, like they have certain pain points, and we want to change their identity to something completely different. Like think about that outcome that they are thinking about. Again, think about give them a vision in their own mind of what that outcome is going to look like, and how does this dimensionalize in their own life. What are they going to experience? How are people going to look at them differently? And think about like, okay, like what are some of those pain points as their identity changes? Like where are they going to see some roadblocks along the way? And again, anticipate that. Again, thinking about where they are sitting right now, that old identity to go to that new identity. Like, what are those things that they're going to be hesitant about? Like, what's that first thing that they have to get over? And really anticipate, like, okay, in the first week, what are some of those hesitations, fears that they might have? And again, as you present your offer, as you get to know that person, as you get to know what their story is all about, think about like, what are those worries and fears, especially in the first few days and maybe weeks of your program. They're going to have certain fears. And once they get over that, they're going to see progress, and then they're going to hit another roadblock. So really anticipating those roadblocks and laying out in your offer, okay, here's the clear progression of where your identity is really going to shift. And by showing that clear identity shift for them, they're going to see that stepping stone. So if you give them an outcome that seems like that really resonates with them, but you don't give them the bridge for how they're going to get there, and kind of anticipating some of those fears, roadblocks, hesitations, whatever it is, you're just not going to be able to close the sale. That's where you're going to say, you're going to hear things like, no, it's not the right time, or, any number of reasons behind that. And it really comes down to not understanding their identity and where they are right now and where they want to go, and showing that progression. So number 3, again, talking about with a prospect today, we're talking about the money, like kind of worrying about like, okay, like how many people actually have 12K, 15K, 40K, 50K to pay for an outcome? I can tell you the numbers are way larger than you expect. And again, if you are presenting for this person and really meeting them where they are, and you're talking about an outcome very specifically, again, the key in marketing by and large is being really specific and really knowing your specific audience. If you can speak to the outcome that they want the most, and you can give them a clear path for how you can get them there, spending 20, 15, 40, 50K is not a big deal. Again, they have to have that transparency on how it's going to work for them, and what's that clear roadmap. But also think about, like, again, from a money perspective, somebody might not have 50K sitting around in their bank account ready to give you right now, or even able to put that on a credit card. So if you do experience that objection, what are some other ways that you could potentially address that? Payment plans or anything else that you could potentially think about. So again, anticipate these objections up front. I don't have 50K to give you right now. What other arrangements can we set up? Have that in your back pocket. Or if you want to present that up front, maybe you have a payment plan. Again, maybe paying up front, they get a discount on that if they pay up front. Maybe you have a payment plan that's a little bit higher up, 3 payments or once a month or whatever it is. So anticipate that you might get that money objection, and have other areas, different ways of addressing that if need be. The 4th is really energy. So again, kind of really aligns with kind of that time of time allocation. People only have so much energy, and a lot of times when you're dealing with a specific audience in pain, they're really struggling with their energy for whatever reason. Like again, go to the health space where they're really struggling. They're dealing with brain fog. They're dealing with tiredness, sleepiness. They just don't have the energy to get involved with your program. Think about, again, in presenting your offer, how you can kind of give people energy, how along the way, kind of preview and visualize in their own mind how going through your program or your offer is going to increase their energy and give them a different level of vitality. Again, it kind of really associates with that identity statement as well. So a lot of these are really connected in terms of these objections. So one identity objection might be really rooted in, okay, energy here. I'm really struggling from an energy perspective. What can you do in those first couple days or weeks to get them from very low energy to high energy, fitting it in with their schedule and making them feel really good about what they're doing right now? Again, just anticipate some of those objections. The last one is kind of that reputation. So again, just thinking about like, what is your relationship as an offer owner to that? Just thinking through, okay, like if they think about, your expertise and their reputation and things like that, how can you use testimonials? How can you use other proof points to let them know that, especially one of the key things that you hear in this one is, I don't know if it's going to work for my specific case. Everybody thinks they're a special snowflake. So think about in your lineup of testimonials, in your past clients, how can you get in front of a prospect and kind of address that reputation that you have the expertise, that you've worked with somebody just like them before, and put that in front of them and answer that up front. Again, the more personalized you can make it, the more specific you can make it. If you can put a person that looks and sounds like them, that's talking about the outcome, that suffered from the same thing that they're suffering from right now, that's the perfect solution to handle this objection. But it doesn't always work. But just think about, like, in your collection of past clients, past experiences, how can you address and build up that trust and reputation so that they know right away, like, this is the best decision for me, spending, again, any number like 10, 15, 40, 50K is not that big a deal, because I know this person's, the offer owner's reputation and their ability to solve my unique problem is virtually guaranteed. Again, think about some of those risk reversals you can make, everything from guarantees, money back, any additional type of things to kind of lower those objections as well, and to kind of anticipate those as much as possible. So that is kind of the 5 things there. Again, to start out: time, identity, money, energy, and reputation. As much as possible, try and anticipate these. But even if you can't, anticipate that you're going to get them along the way, especially when you put that price in front of them. And have it in your back pocket. What other options can you have in there if I get this objection, to solve this and get them to a yes versus maybe not the right time? Maybe I have some other issues that are going through. Want to address these up front. And I can tell you they make a huge difference, and make it a lot easier for you to charge 12K versus 6K, because you have a great handle of what those objections are, easily handle them up front. And it kind of greases the wheels, especially in terms of getting to that yes and more high ticket sales as you go along. So hit that like button on whatever platform you are watching on right now. If this was helpful, drop me any comments on terms of what maybe common objections that you're getting from high ticket type of prospects and customers. I can help you solve them in the comments. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Talking about high ticket sales on almost a daily basis. And with that, I'll see you on a future live.